everyone. We are live again. My name is Laville. And good afternoon, good morning to everyone who's watching us right now. Those who are watching us live. I'm Laville. I'm one of the owners of this page. My husband Vince and I started this page in mid 2019. So if it's your first time visiting our page or our channel, we're from Alberta, Canada. Today is May 14, 2021. It's a Friday and it's 6:01 p.m. Mountain Time. Help me out by commenting below where you're watching us from and what time it is there. Even for those who'll be watching the replay later, please do help us. So again, I'm Laville. I'm a Filipino mom based here in Canada. I have two amazing kids. They are 4 years old and 2 years old. One boy, one girl. Yes. My kids are now with my husband out in the living room. He's holding the fort so I can be with you for a few short minutes before we switch again. So thank you for taking the time to check us out. I'm really happy that you're here or would be watching the replay later. Thank you so much to those who watched our pilot episode last Friday. I am touched with your outpouring support, especially because it's my first time doing something like this. So to continue with our month of May series on mom challenges, last week I rambled on the three most common challenges of stay-at-home moms. Today, this Friday, it's going to be all about the employed mom. Yes. So three most common challenges of employed mom. I just want to put it out there that all moms are working moms, regardless if you're employed or not, because childcare is hard work. So for this episode, we are going to use the term employed moms. Okay, employed moms. Before having Lucas, as I have shared in our first episode, I was working full time in a regional development bank. I loved it. I thrived in it. But after I gave birth, then came challenges, especially when it came to childcare. Those who are close to us knew that it took us quite a while to conceive. So when we were blessed with Lucas, we weren't comfortable. It didn't sit well with us to leave him right away with a nanny or with someone else that we're not totally confident with, that we don't completely trust. It didn't sit well with us. Plus, we couldn't find a nanny. That was the first problem. So we made the decision that I would be the one to take care of the kids now with S, while Vince works full time. And it has worked for us so far. But 2 years into being a stay-at-home mom, Vince and I also started our own digital business. Why? Because life is expensive, and as much as the setup works for us, we also need to secure our family's future, their future. So we started the digital business. I've been a mompreneur for 2 years now. And as a coach and mentor, I've chatted with moms from various backgrounds in our coaching calls, strategy calls, moms from different parts of the world, different nationalities, different cultures, different personalities. And in this episode, we've rounded up the three most common challenges of employed moms. Starting with, let me put it out there. There you go. Starting with guilt. I guess it's something all moms experience at some point because, hormones aside, by default, we are the primary caregivers of our child, of our children. So mom guilt is that feeling that we're not doing enough as a mom, as a parent, or we're not doing things right. Anxiety and guilt kicks in when we leave them for the day so we could go back to work. Or I'm sure it's a worse feeling, especially for those moms who have double shifts or extended shifts. And I'm sure extra challenging for those moms who have to leave their kids with their spouse or their relatives because they needed to work in another province, or our overseas workers, they need to work abroad. So extra challenging, I suppose. I'm sure you don't get used to it as your child gets older, but I guess you're more accepting of the situation because you have to do it. You have to provide for your family. You have to help your spouse provide for your family. I remember my conversation with my mom. I chatted with her like how long before she went back to work. And she said only after 2 months. So she only had 2 months of maternity leave and she needed to go back to work to help my papa provide for us. Life is hard. We weren't well off. So she needed to do that. So those separation anxiety tears, sepangs tears, those are real. I've experienced that, especially for those who need to go back to work after a few weeks of maternity leave and you haven't found a trustworthy childcare provider. Must be so tough. But aside from the mom guilt, can I just add that there's also the employee guilt? And this one I've experienced, even if briefly. It's that feeling that you're not 100% dedicated to your work because you're preoccupied. When I went back to work briefly, I went back to work around 6 months. After 6 months, yes, after 6 months of giving birth, I went back to work briefly and I would pump milk twice during my 8-hour shift. So that would mean I would be away from my cubicle for 20 to 30 minutes because I still need to rinse my pump accessories. So around 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., I would hurry back home. So as much as possible, no more overtimes. And yes, I was preoccupied. I could hardly focus. I felt I wasn't giving 100% of me in both. I wasn't giving 100% of myself to my kid. I wasn't giving 100% of myself to my job. And it's eating me up inside. It was eating me up inside. I had that fear that I was missing out at home and I was missing out at work. I wasn't performing like how I used to. But as much as it was a struggle for me, I do acknowledge that there are tons of super women out there who succeed in going back to work, going back to their careers after childbirth, and doing amazing in both. So just like my mom and a number of friends and former office mates. So kudos to all of you. Aside from the mom guilt, we also have okay, before I proceed to the second challenge, let us say hi first to our yes, hi. Hi, Ayin. Hello, Louisville, watching from PH. Hi, Anne. It's 8:05 here in Manila. This is my mom. Hi, Mama. And then, hi, Jake and Precious. Super true. Hard to go back after giving birth. I can really relate. And Jake and Precious are watching us from London. And then Kuya Roy, watching from Vancouver. Thanks, guys. Yeah, so let's go back. Aside from mom guilt, we also have the work-life balance. What is work-life balance anyway? You know, professional job is demanding enough without even having to add house chores. Chores can wait, but raising a kid, it can't. So what do? We multitask, we stretch ourselves thin to attend to all our duties and expectations of us at home and at work. It's tedious and it's exhausting. There's no downtime. Where's mom and self-care in the mix? I I don't have the answer for that because I know that for the longest time self-care wasn't even part of my list. What's work-life balance? So we have the guilt, mom guilt, employee guilt, work-life balance. Third challenge, the boss. Yes. Any one of you had a hard time with your boss? Let's face it, some employers and maybe some colleagues might not care about your personal life or your responsibilities at home. It's sad, but it's the truth. Between meeting your deliverables on time and taking care of your household, it's really possible for you to slip. And that's normal. So you try to compensate at work by coming in early or leaving much later, and then compensate at home with a promise of a weekend at the zoo. I guess I guess in the brief time that I went back to work, I was blessed with really awesome bosses and a supportive bunch of colleagues that during the time that I was working, that they supported me, supported my decisions. But you know what? Of all these challenges, the guilt, work-life balance, and the boss, what I've learned from the moms that I've connected with as a coach and a mentor is that first, when you're dealing with guilt, reliable and competent people looking after your kids matter. It's important for your peace of mind. How can you perform 100% of yourself at work if you're worrying about your kids at home? So reliable and competent childcare matters. Or you and hubby has shift arrangements. Maybe he has graveyard shift, so one of you can stay at home with the kids while the other one is working. Aside from reliable and competent child work, it also helps to surround yourself with people who support your decision or your setup. I've said this several times in our first episode. Find your tribe. It may be online or in person. You need people aside from your husband, of course. You need people to support you, not to validate you, but just so you know you're not alone in this. There are tons of you superwomen out there. Connect. You're raising kids and running the world. So, right, Queen Bee? Who run the world? Yes. So be kind to yourself. You can't be everything for everyone at the same time. You are doing your best within your circumstances. So give yourself the gift of grace. Be gentle with yourself. Trustworthy childcare provider. Surround yourself with people who support you. And I guess quality in terms of quantity. In terms of time spent, quality over quantity in terms of time spent with your family. Like, make the moments with them count. If you're planning a family activity, go the extra mile, make it extra special. They say that they said that our children are our excellent source of information. So when it's family time, we give them our undivided attention, we listen to them more, and they will tell us or show us if our decisions are working or not, so we can make adjustments along the way. So number 3, quality over quantity. And then fourth would be time management. Yes, making a list, making a schedule, it helps us avoid wasting time, so we still have extra time for ourselves and for our kids. And it helps make carrying deliverables at the office or at work more efficient and more effective. So also Google time hacks or watch YouTube hacks. For a time when Vince was still working full time, I would do meal preps on weekends, cook everything, batch cook everything on the weekends, and then freeze them. So that during the week, I would only be preparing breakfast. That way, we have lunch and dinner already in the freezer. We get to eat on time, and I get to have more time for myself and for the kids. So time management matters. And as for the boss, the dreaded boss, I guess it helps to maintain an open line of communication with your boss or with your manager. That having kids doesn't mean you will be lazy at work or you will start slacking off. There would be changes, but it doesn't mean you're less dedicated at work. So I'm praying for you. I am praying with you that your manager, your supervisor, your bosses, they will also see and appreciate your dedication to both your work and your family. I'm with you. I'm in virtual solidarity with you. So, with all these challenges, you employed moms, you're all super. So let's read some more comments here. This is Hi, Angel, watching from PH. Hi, J. Lou, watching from Quezon. Hi, C Smart Cherry. We do that now, batch cooking. Yes. Oh, hi, sis. Marie is also from Alberta. Yes, thank you. Thank you for watching. There. So, I guess that these challenges so tough. I don't know how I don't know how I'll be performing if I'm also working a full-time job, if I'm also employed, with two kids. I have a 4 and a 2 years old. It's tough. So we don't have a 70s or 80s song for this episode, but I'd like to share with you one of my favorites. It's by Alicia Keys, maybe 2000 or 2010. I want to play it, but I'm not sure if you're gonna. Let's try. Can you hear it? For all the mothers fighting for better days to come. And all my women sitting here trying to come home before the sun. And all my sisters coming together, say yes I will, yes I can, 'cause I am a superwoman. Yes, I am. Yes, she is. Yes, you are all superwomen. So stand proud. Be proud of your decisions. Be proud of your job as a mom and as an employed mom, as a wife. Be proud. It's not easy. Gosh. When I became a mom, the more I learned to appreciate my mama and my papa and my titas who all chipped in to help raise us, because juggling everything, it's tough. So I'm in virtual solidarity with all of you. It's true what they say, it takes a village to raise a kid. So do find your village. Find your village. And I know this sounds cliche, but it's true. Do remember that you matter. So you can't pour from an empty cup. So from time to time, do be selfish. Taking care of yourself means you'd be in a better shape to take care of others. So let the dirty clothes pile up from time to time, or ask someone else to handle it. Outsource, and for dinner, maybe use DoorDash or grab Express for dinner. Same with work. Find your tribe that will support you at work. You don't have to apologize for being a mom. I don't see why you should apologize. And you have leave credits. Use them. Take a breather if you need, and find your rhythm, and then kick ass, because you got it. You got this. You're a super woman. You're a super mom. So thank you so much for watching, everyone, and see you next Friday here on Watch Me Ramble. Next week, it's going to be all about mompreneurs. And to those employed moms who are teeny bit interested to starting their own online business, but just you don't know how to start, or you don't want something to interfere with your full-time job because your plate is already full, but you would appreciate a little wiggle room, especially if it won't interfere with your full-time work, then hit me up, chat with me, connect with me, rant with me, sing with me. And I would love to chat with you. I would love to walk you through what we've been doing and see if it's also a good fit for you. So you can leave your email address there on our website down below so I can send you more information. See you next Friday. Oh, sorry. One more. Let's read a few more. Giselle. Hi, Giselle. Hello. Giselle is from Vancouver. And Angel. Yes, no apologies. No apologies. So, again, thank you so much for sharing your afternoon or your morning with me. Thank you so much. Bye. See you next Friday.